Hollywood thrives on stories, on the magic of dreams made real and the legends who walk its storied streets. It is a place where the line between reality and fiction blurs, and where the lives of its icons become part of the city's very fabric. But today, the city faces a tragedy that has left the industry reeling, a loss so profound that it has sent shockwaves through every corner of the entertainment world. Rob Reiner, a legendary director and actor whose work shaped generations, and his wife, Michele Reiner, a respected photographer and philanthropist, have been found dead in their Los Angeles home. Their sudden passing has left a void that feels impossible to fill. Their passing is a devastating blow, ending a partnership that shaped Hollywood for decades. Together, they were a creative force, their influence felt in every corner of the industry. The news swept through the city like wildfire, leaving friends, colleagues, and fans in shock. Social media feeds filled with tributes and news outlets scrambled to cover the story as the world tried to process the loss of two beloved figures. Rob Reiner was more than a filmmaker. He was a cultural touchstone, a man whose career spanned decades and genres. From his unforgettable days as meathead on All in the Family, he became a household name, beloved for his wit and warmth. He went on to direct classics like The Princess Bride, a film that became a touchstone for generations, celebrated for its humor, heart, and timeless storytelling. And When Harry Met Sally, a romantic comedy that redefined the genre and remains a favorite to this day, is just one example of his ability to capture the complexities of love and friendship on screen. Rob's vision and leadership inspired countless actors, writers, and directors, and his films are woven into the very identity of Hollywood itself. Michele, though less in the spotlight, was a creative force in her own right. Her photography captured the soul of her subjects, and her philanthropic work touched countless lives. She was a pillar of kindness, always working quietly behind the scenes to make the world a better place. Their love story was one of mutual support and shared purpose, a partnership built on respect, creativity, and a deep commitment to each other's dreams. Now that story has been cut tragically short, leaving those who knew them struggling to imagine a world without their presence. For generations, Rob's films defined comedy, love, and friendship, bringing laughter and meaning to millions. His work was more than entertainment, it was a reflection of the human experience. Meanwhile, Michele's quiet strength and generosity inspired those around her, whether through her art, her activism, or her unwavering support for her family and community. Together, they embodied a kind of Hollywood royalty that felt both aspirational and genuine, a couple who balanced fame with humility and success with compassion. The loss is deeply personal for many, as the couple's influence reached far beyond the screen. Friends, colleagues, and fans alike are left mourning not just celebrities, but cherished members of the community. As the community mourns, questions linger about the circumstances of their deaths. Authorities continue to investigate, but for now, the focus remains on honoring their memory. What's certain is that Hollywood has lost two of its brightest lights, and the city feels dimmer in their absence. Vigils are being held, and tributes pour in from around the world. Their story, once filled with hope and creativity, has ended in heartbreak, but the memories they leave behind will continue to inspire. The industry stands united in grief, remembering the joy and meaning Rob and Michele brought to so many. Their impact will be felt for years to come, in every film, every photograph, and every act of kindness inspired by their example. Their legacy will endure, even as the city mourns. Hollywood will never forget Rob and Michele Reiner, their light, their love, and the indelible mark they left on the world. The Reiner family home, once a haven of creativity and warmth, is now a crime scene. Police tape flutters outside the prestigious residence, the focus of a somber investigation. Authorities were called for a wellness check, leading to the tragic discovery of Rob and Michele inside. Details remain scarce as officials work methodically to gather evidence and secure the area. The presence of police and forensic teams underscores the gravity of the situation. Neighbors, many from the entertainment industry, are stunned by the transformation of a familiar home into a site of tragedy. The LAPD has confirmed the identities of the deceased but is withholding specifics as the investigation unfolds. The home, once a symbol of stability, now holds the secrets to a devastating event. The investigation is just beginning, as the world waits for answers. The tragedy deepened in ways no one could have anticipated when, just hours after the initial investigation began, police announced they had identified a suspect in the case. That suspect was Nick Reiner, Rob and Michele's 32-year-old son, a man who, until now, had been known to the public only as a member of a beloved family. The news of Nick's arrest sent shockwaves through the community. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers struggled to comprehend how a family so admired could be thrust into such turmoil. The story, once a tale of tragic loss, now became a complicated and deeply personal family crisis, unfolding in real time before a stunned public. Nick is currently being held without bail, facing the most serious of charges. The gravity of the accusations against him has only intensified the scrutiny and speculation surrounding the case. The arrest of a son in connection with his own parents' deaths is a heartbreaking twist that few could have imagined. It has cast a long, dark shadow over the Reiner family's legacy, leaving friends and loved ones grappling with disbelief and sorrow. Details about Nick's apprehension remain closely guarded by authorities. What is known is that law enforcement acted swiftly, moving to secure Nick before any further developments could unfold. The investigation is ongoing, with officials refusing to comment on the evidence that led to his arrest. As the investigation continues, the focus has shifted from mourning the loss of Rob and Michele to trying to understand how such a devastating tragedy could have taken place within a family once held in such high regard. The Reiner family, once seen as the very definition of close-knit, now faces unimaginable pain and public scrutiny. Every move they make is watched, every emotion analyzed, as they navigate the aftermath of this shocking turn of events. The legal process ahead will be long, complex, and emotionally draining. Loved ones, friends, and fans alike are left struggling to process the loss, searching for answers in a situation that seems to defy explanation. What began as a simple story of loss has now become a deeply complex and sorrowful saga, one that will haunt the community and the Reiner family for years to come. As the shock fades, a more complicated picture of the Reiner family emerges. Nick Reiner's struggles with addiction were well known, even inspiring a film he co-wrote with his father. He had been living with Rob and Michele, who provided support during his difficult times. The family's challenges, once private, are now central to understanding the tragedy. Behind the glamour, the Reiners faced the same struggles as any family, only under greater pressure. Their devotion to Nick was clear, but the support system ultimately broke down in the worst way. The whispers of a troubled past now frame this heartbreaking event. Amid the headlines, those who knew Michele Reiner remember her quiet grace and kindness. She was the grounding force of the family, known for genuine acts of care, like bringing water to neighborhood security guards. Michelle's empathy touched everyone, from celebrities to everyday workers. Friends recall her as the heart of her social and philanthropic circles, an accomplished photographer, and a passionate advocate for children and the environment. Her legacy is not defined by tragedy, but by the love and goodness she shared. Michele was a beacon of authenticity in a city often criticized for its superficiality. Her friends are determined to remember her for the beautiful way she lived. Her kindness was her true masterpiece. The LAPD faces a high-profile, sensitive investigation. Their priority: reconstruct the timeline and gather every piece of evidence from the Reiner home. Detectives are interviewing friends, family, and neighbors, searching for clues about motive and state of mind. Digital communications and forensic analysis are key to understanding what happened. Nick's history with addiction and mental health will be considered, but all possibilities remain open. Police statements are measured, protecting the integrity of the case. The investigation will take time, with forensic results and legal decisions still ahead. The community looks to the police for answers and justice. In the glare of public scrutiny, investigators remain focused on uncovering the truth. The world waits for clarity in this heartbreaking case. Rob Reiner's impact on American culture is immeasurable. For over 5 decades he shaped the way we see ourselves on screen, blending humor, heart, and humanity in every project he touched. From his Emmy-winning role as the unforgettable meathead on All in the Family, Reiner became a household name, challenging social norms and sparking conversations in living rooms across America. He then stepped behind the camera, directing classics like This Is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, and The Princess Bride, films that not only entertained, but also became cultural touchstones, quoted and beloved by generations, and with When Harry Met Sally, he redefined the romantic comedy, creating moments that still resonate with audiences today. His work shaped generations, leaving an indelible mark on the art of storytelling. He was a master storyteller, moving effortlessly between comedy, drama, and romance. His films explored the full spectrum of human emotion from laughter to heartbreak, always with a sense of authenticity and warmth. Beyond film, Rob was a passionate activist, championing early childhood education and progressive causes alongside Michele. Together, they worked tirelessly to improve the lives of children and families, using their voices to advocate for those who needed it most. His influence extended far beyond Hollywood, reaching into the heart of American society, using his platform for real change. He inspired others to speak up, to care, and to act. Rob's legacy is one of creativity, intelligence, and conviction. He was never afraid to take risks or stand up for what he believed in. He made us laugh, think, and reflect on our own lives. His films brought people together, sparking conversations and forging connections. His stories are woven into the fabric of American life, cherished by families and film lovers everywhere. His passing silences a vital voice in both film and activism, but his stories will endure, lighting the way for future generations of artists and dreamers. Rob Reiner was a true Hollywood titan, a creative force whose influence will never fade. He cast a shadow all his own, inspiring countless storytellers to follow in his footsteps. The void he leaves is immense, a testament to the depth of his contributions. Yet, his art and activism will be remembered for generations, echoing in every laugh, every tear, and every story told. Michele Reiner was more than Rob's partner. She was a force in her own right, an acclaimed photographer. She captured humanity and beauty in her art. Michele was the bedrock of her family, providing stability and love through decades of partnership. She was a devoted mother and a passionate advocate for children and the environment. Her philanthropy was hands-on and heartfelt, driven by a genuine desire to help others. Michele's legacy is one of quiet strength, empathy, and action. She enriched every life she touched, often away from the spotlight. Her compassion and vision will be her lasting imprint. The deaths of Rob and Michele Reiner have left Hollywood and beyond in mourning. Tributes pour in, remembering Rob's brilliance and Michele's warmth. Their impact reached far beyond film, touching political and activist circles as well. The community grieves not just the loss, but the tragic circumstances and the pain of a family in crisis. Their legacy will live on in classic films, charitable work, and the lives they touch. Hollywood is a place of fleeting fame, but the Reiners' influence is permanent. Today, a community remembers two extraordinary people whose story ended far too soon.